Can the Browns win again? It's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, it hasn't been said since December 13th, 2016. But the Browns taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game. 2
teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely. Perfect start to the year, but all the talk was, hey, that was Week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in Week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Brees to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch it out of the backfield as well.
On 3rd and long, it's Brees. He's going to let this one go deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. A big kick there. We'll call it 56. Here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They're brought out by their new quarterback in 2018, a product of Hampton, Virginia, and a former Bill, Tyrod Taylor.
And many see him as the bridge quarterback until first-round pick Baker Mayfield is ready. He may understand that thinking, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop him from competing to be the #1 quarterback in Cleveland. Remember, he led the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years. It'd be truly something if he could lead the Browns there after a 15-year drought in Cleveland.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. from the shotgun. It's Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field.
Holding.
So let's see about the call. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. On first down, Breeze. And it's caught inside the 5. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. A good pick up there of 20 yards. From the gun, it's Breeze. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. A look now at the defensive starters for Cleveland. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
They'll run it with Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Ready. You ready?
Breeze now on 3rd and goal. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Slow.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Taylor to throw on second down. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And the numbers from a week ago for Jarvis Landry. 10 catches, 82 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
They run with a fullback now. This is Dan Vitale. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Here's Taylor. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Tyler Davison getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. 3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Flushed out right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Alex Okafor. He's the one to get in this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now it's Ginn. He spins free. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 19 carries, 73 yards.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
Kamara, and he'll get this up only to about the 33. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. First down, a run with Hyde. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Taylor eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On third down, Taylor buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. The Browns send out their punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Mark Ingram really coming into form in the NFL. First 5 years in the league, didn't have a 1,000-yard season, but he's done it the past 2 years.
Yeah, and I think a couple of reasons for that. Number one, offensive line has been rebuilt, and they put a lot of Tim Hightower 2 seasons ago. Then last year, of course, the sensational Alvin Kamara. And last but not least, the defense is playing so much better in New Orleans. They don't have to throw the ball as much on offense. He can run the ball even more.
Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
We got three. Ready? You ready?
They run it again with Kamara. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so because you've tried to run the ball, and really it doesn't matter who got the ball in the play because there was no space to go. So I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And Ginn's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We'll head back to New Orleans after this. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 33. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's the option going left on 2nd down. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Breeze now. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Now, Breeze again. That's complete right around the 8. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Well, again, they'll throw with Breeze. And this is incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelm, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. That drive just seemed to go for an eternity. I could kind of hear our sponsor saying, hey, we need to get our product pushed here. And then it ends in a field goal.
Yeah, how about that? Not enough time for product placement. Plenty of time to get 3 points out of the deal. I know that the guys on defense, though, they wanted to get those products out there. They wanted to stop that drive, just were unable to do so.
Holding receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
A quick handoff to Vitale. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle.
On second down, here's Taylor. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Taylor now to throw on third down. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
On second down, Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. On first down, it's Taylor. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Taylor. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. He's got a man. It's Chad Johnson. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Holding, offense.
That's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler, first-round pick back in 2012. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Slow.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Now he'll let this one go. Deep left sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The Saints on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Ready. Ready.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
False start, offense.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 10. 12 yards on the return that time. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that... They start the drive with Hyde. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And he's got the hook up to Landry. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. Muscles him off. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Perhaps what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And that one falls incomplete. Trying to dump it underneath. Now 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, You have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. And that'll be incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a pickup of 7, and it is also the final play of the first half. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, and it's the Steelers out in front in the second quarter. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Washington. Check out the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. 2 touchdown passes for the veteran Alex Smith. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Andy Dalton, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. His guys have the lead on the road in the Big Easy as we get you back over to the Superdome. And Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Now Taylor on first down. Steps away to his left. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Slow.
They'll run it now, out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Slow. Ready. 319. Slow.
A first carry for the rookie, Nick Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Slow. Ready. Flag for 2. Flag for 2. Slow.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back. But it's still a 3rd and 8.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The Browns on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
We're waiting.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And he fields it cleanly. He won't go down. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10.
Slow.
They'll try to fire up the running game with Hyde. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd down, Hyde, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
From midfield now, here's Taylor. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Taylor. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Sheldon Rankins in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did, and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating in Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Breeze now on first down. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Breeze now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
And a movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Breeze now on 1st down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Saints on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Ready.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That's caught, it's Thomas. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
He'll get it up the middle. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that work. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little.
Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. That's Njoku over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Handoff comes to Chubb. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Sometime in this fourth quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. This is Coleman again. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Breeze will try again on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They begin the drive with Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. On 2nd down, Taylor. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Taylor able to find his big tight end in Njoku for the Cleveland 1st down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, You can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Slow.
And back to the ground, high. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson, and he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Demario Davis there on the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They go to Johnson again. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll run forward with high. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Here we go.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Ready? We're waiting. Protect.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
Ready? You ready?
Again, it's Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Breeze gives it up to Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before. Too many teams, they've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet, escaping the pressure right. And down he'll go at the 25. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. He'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. He's back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Landry again, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On 3rd down, that's Johnson. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Counting down to 30 seconds remaining. Back to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They'll give to Hyde. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding. Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Reeves leads this one with Kamara. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Back to the ground. This time it's high. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Taylor on target to Gordon for a Cleveland first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
slow.
They run it again with Chubb. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down. So he runs it for 1 yard, then no gain. I don't know that you go back to that well here on third down.
Yeah, I don't know that you do as well, but if you want to get the ball to him, if you want him to have it, maybe get him into space and throw it to him.
Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. From the gun, it's Taylor. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Cameron Jordan in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Jordan coming off a Pro Bowl campaign in 2017. 3rd time he's had that honor.
And he continues to play better and better as his career extends. Think about it this way. 4th in the league last year in sacks with 13. Helped the New Orleans Saints defense improve overall and help lead them to the playoffs. And now he shares Pro Bowl honors with his father, Steve, who was a Pro Bowl tight end in the NFL.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Flush to his right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Demario Davis in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and long, it's Taylor. Oh, so close but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's 4th down. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done, now part 2. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First throw of overtime for Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here's Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss.
Here we go. Ready? Yellow waiting, son.
They run it again with Kamara. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Ready? Yellow waiting. What's that?
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Alex Okafor in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. To throw on 2nd down. Taylor, and incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up.
And see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands? Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Taylor throwing on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. He's going to run. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder, maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beaten here, field goal or a touchdown now. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding, offense.
Yeah, that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Holding, offense.
That's on Teron Armstead, the left tackle. They go play action here on first down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and forever. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Breeze. Caught on the left side by Ginn. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
Easy.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
That escapes the sound. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That's Njoku over the middle. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
Holding, offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Here's Taylor looking to throw on second down. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receiver.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. Well, we had 2 ties last season in 2016, and now we've got another here.
They're part of the game, but I can sound philosophical here and say, well, what can you do? But neither team happy, right? No one wants to walk away from here with a tie, but I guess it's better than walking away with a loss, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the bright side for both teams, but nobody walking away a victor. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Till next